Hey everyone, ready for another deep dive? Today we're all about leveling up your English conversation skills.
Sounds good.
We found this awesome resource from Ing Club called, get this, 100 Simple Topics for Speaking English.
Hmm. Interesting.
Right, it's full of ideas to get you practicing those everyday conversations, like ordering food, maybe asking for
Oh, I
directions.
see. Like real life stuff.
Exactly, not just textbook examples.
Makes sense. So it's not just about like grammar rules.
Not at all. It's about getting you comfortable actually using English.
Because I feel like sometimes, we get so focused on being perfect, we forget to actually, communicate.
That's a great point. And this resource really emphasizes that, like using these topics to get a conversation going.
Ah, I get it. So not just memorizing answers.
Nope, more like using them as springboards to like spark a real back and forth.
Right, right.
And there are some really cool examples in here. Like one of the topics is my favorite hobby.
Okay. So instead of just saying, I like to paint, you could actually talk about why you like painting.
Yeah. Or maybe some techniques you enjoy or artists you admire.
And that way you naturally start using, more vocabulary related to art or feelings or personal stuff.
For sure. And you might even connect with someone who shares your hobby.
Totally. You could ask, have you ever tried painting? Or what kind of art do you like?
And boom, you've gone from a one-liner to an actual conversation.
I like it. So what else is in there?
Well, there's one I really liked. It's a funny incident.
Oh, everyone loves a good story, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's such a good way to practice telling a story in English
True, true. Because you have to, set the scene, describe the characters.
and build up to that punchline.
Right. Plus, you're using all those words for emotions and humor, maybe even some slang.
Definitely. And telling a funny story, well, it helps break the ice.
It does. It does. Builds
Yeah.
that connection, makes you more confident.
Absolutely. And here's another one that really caught my eye. A place you feel peaceful.
Hmm. That's interesting.
Yeah. Seems simple at first, but it can actually lead to some pretty deep conversations.
Oh, I see. Like, if you're describing a place that makes you feel calm, you'd start using all sorts of words.
About feelings, sensations, maybe even nature.
Right, right. Like, tranquil, serene, what else?
Lush, maybe breathtaking.
Yeah. Those are words you'd find in, poems or travel blogs, even meditation stuff.
And the cool thing is, by sharing that peaceful place, well, you're not just practicing vocabulary.
You're sharing a part of yourself.
Exactly. It helps you connect with someone on a deeper level.
That's pretty powerful.
And guess what? It gets even more interesting.
Oh, how so? More interesting. Tell me more.
Okay, so get this. The source says you can use these topics for more formal settings, too.
Formal settings. Like, what do you mean?
Like job interviews or even debates.
Hmm. I wouldn't have thought of that.
Yeah.
But I guess it makes sense.
Right. And they give examples of how you can, tailor the topics.
Oh, okay. So, if you have a job interview coming up.
You could use the topic dream job to practice, talking about your goals.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Instead of just saying, I want to be a doctor.
Yeah.
You could?
You could talk about why you're interested in medicine or what skills you have.
And use all that good vocabulary. Like, instead of, I'm good at science, you could say.
I have a strong foundation in biology or something like that.
Right. It sounds so much more, professional.
And for debates, there's the topic, a historical event, to help you structure your arguments.
Ooh, that's a good one. Because you'd have to use those connecting words, right?
Totally. Like, however, or on the other hand.
Exactly. So you can make your argument, flow logically.
It's pretty amazing how these simple topics can help you with so many different skills.
It is. It is. But I bet some people might feel, I don't know, intimidated by speaking in those situations.
Yeah, that's understandable, especially in a formal setting.
Right. I mean, even native speakers get nervous sometimes.
Totally. But I think the key is to practice, right?
Definitely. And focus on just getting your ideas across clearly.
And these topics give you that framework to practice with.
Exactly. And don't forget about preparation. Like, let's say you're using describe your hometown to practice for a presentation.
Okay, yeah. How'd you approach that?
Well, you could start with a general overview of the city. Like where it is, what it's known for.
And then maybe some famous landmarks.
Exactly. And then you could share some personal stories or memories. Make it more engaging.
I love that. And while you're describing all of that, you're using vocabulary for geography, history.
Culture, personal experiences, all of it.
It's like a vocabulary workout.
Mhm.
And here's a thought. You could even record yourself practicing.
Oh, that's a good tip. So you can listen back and hear where you can improve.
Exactly.
Good,
Like
though.
your pronunciation or grammar.
And remember, this list is a tool, not a test. You don't have to do everything perfectly right away.
Right. It's about finding what you're interested in and using those topics to, build your confidence.
Exactly. What about you? What topics stood out to you? What situations do you want to feel more prepared for?
Maybe you're like planning a trip and want to, be able to order food or ask for directions without feeling awkward.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Or maybe you want to chat with people from different cultures, talk about current events, share stories, that kind of thing.
It's cool how this list has something for everyone.
It really does. Like a buffet of conversation starters.
I like that. A buffet. You can pick and choose what you like.
Right. Whether you're into food or history or travel.
Or just like telling funny stories.
Exactly. So as we wrap up our deep dive into these 100 topics,
What's the main takeaway?
I think it's that you don't have to become like a dictionary or anything.
Yeah, it's not about being perfect
It's about using these prompts to have more, natural conversations.
and feeling more confident, right?
Exactly. And what I find so interesting is how this resource, it kind of changes how we think about fluency.
Hmm. Tell me more about that.
Well, it's not just about grammar rules or sounding like a textbook.
Okay, yeah. It's more than that.
It's about expressing yourself, connecting with other people.
Being able to handle real-life situations.
Yeah, exactly. And not being afraid to, make mistakes.
Oh, for sure. Mistakes are part of the process.
Totally. The more you practice, the more comfortable you'll get.
And the more fun you'll have with it. Trust me.
Definitely. So as you look through this list of 100 topics,
What kind of conversations do you want to have?
what interests you? What stories do you want to share?
Think about the connections you want to make.
And hey, if you want to see the full list, we've got a link to the In Club website in the show notes.
Check it out. It's a great resource.
And remember, the most important conversation is the one you start today.